The last thing I saw before I came on to do this video was George. Hey George, what's going on? You're the last thing I saw before I started. This is the first thing. You were the last. This is the first. They sort of connect right together. Boom, just like that. It ended. I began. What, he says, but what about what? I didn't stay there long enough to even know or get acquainted with what was going on. But let me take a look inside over here. See that sunlight? Am I here or I'm not? Am I here or I'm not? Seems like I'm going gray. Seems like I'm going gray. Faster than I thought. Out of the grays, going gray. What is it so great about gray? Blue is gray. Okay. The elephant, gray, but he seems to know something about the ground. He knows about all the nuts around here. His nose is schloing, goes all the way to the ground. George says, okay, shared your video, and George, it was the video of George, Jen, and Orge. You know George, Jen, and Orge? G. The French say the same G. Why am I talking like this? I'm buzzed. Just because I'm buzzed, I'm not allowed to swear just the same. In fact, I have to be more cautious because everything seems as a flow, and it's all good. It's all good if it flows, right? So whatever I say naturally, no. You are not perfect. You are not natural. Your naturalness to who you are is using your noggin. It ain't natural if you don't think. Act upon reaction before the thought. Even with the thought within the thought is an action within before the procedure of the exterior motion. We need not speak, we need understand. Yes, we know bumps and barriers of people who don't see, who people who goes, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm almost like, they come upon you like a chicken. Chicken seems to little bitty thing, and all of a sudden, when somebody comes up to you and goes like, you know why? You remember Three's Company, Mr. Furley? Don Knotts? Is that what it was? He was so nervous, but he was so sure. He was so sure and he was so nervous. Oh my God, I wonder if he had bipolar. In the show, I don't know what he was like otherwise, but he did the job just right. So much inside, so much information. But you can only go and advance towards one as one and less a half. When you teach people, you have to reteach how you learned. You have to go backwards to how you were taught to understand, how you were taught to know how and what and when you learned whatever you did, to understand whatever student or person that is in front of you that wants to know on the same lines as you, but they have no patience. Or you have no patience. So you may know all these things, but if you have no formation inside of anything, it's always the thought that counts. Your perception, based on whatever my action was towards you and me, I was first, you were last, but I was last for you to be first. I finish off the thought I needed to finish off in order to proceed in doing what I wanted to do next. I know it gets very technical. The mind is made up of a lot of stuff like in the galaxy. My son told me that today. He says, you know, Dad, he says, there's more in your head than in a whole galaxy. I says, that's not what the doctor said. But you know, when they took me and they needed 3 of them, you can't take you until we have 3. So I got a value of 3 to 1. VAC reality. The way I think towards the left and the way I think towards the right. Am I too much towards one of the sides? Because no matter which side you go too much, they only give you a certain space. That space is between 101, 1 step to the right, 1 step to the left. But what does it mean, 101? 101 is a 4 formation. Okay, 101 is a 4 formation, and we can use it in the 6 steps because there's 3 101s on here. Why? Because this one doesn't touch. It goes to everybody's. Okay, it's 101 is 4, 5, and 6 over here. 101 action between 1, skip 1, and 1. On the way we pass through 5 and over to 9, we have divided the 2 sides. This one is 1, this one is 9. The difference is 8. The difference on this angle, 1 plus 8 equals 9. 3 plus 4 equals 7. These are the wings of Nibiru. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 7 and 3 is Nibiru. Okay? One of the corners, one of the suns. Each one of these is 360 degrees of its own. But this is 360 degrees in between these two. Because these two are the reality of the exterior. This is only the in-between. So if I went in between here, and in between here, and in between here, and in between here, I would cut out all the corners. And the corners in this 360 degrees would be smaller than that 360 degrees. But then again, each round circle is 360 degrees in itself. Show me the dice that show circles. Show me dice from casino. Do we want to go amateur or professional? Bicycle cards. Where am I going to jump on to next? I got a little lost. Yes, the reality between two people, it doesn't matter what I think or what I know. I can't say to somebody else, well, you know, if you don't believe in somebody's thinking or you don't like the way they think, you either have to stay in the conversation or you have to get out of the conversation. And then eventually you know the people and who you speak to, you're never getting into any conversation. And if you are getting in, you're getting in such a way that when you back out, it doesn't look like you really took part and you didn't care. It just shows that you're being nice and saying okay, or you can tell the person like, hey man, I can't talk about that stuff. It doesn't do me. And then you can say to yourself, well, am I closed in, not talking to what that is? Shouldn't we be able to put up with certain... The question is also, do you want to waste your time? Everybody's time is important. Hello, can you wait on the line, please? Hello, can you wait on the line, please? Like, hi, diddly-doo, hi. Hello? Oh, I thought you were there. Hi, diddly-doo. Hi. Hello? Oh, I thought I heard somebody. And like, by the time I finish the third hello, I'm going, I've been stopped so many times. Human beings are like that. But why don't you ask the car that you started and stopped and started and stopped until the equipment stopped working in the car? And to start and to go and to go and to stop is what ruins all the tires that are rolling on the road. To stop and to go into the brakes. If you don't touch the brakes, I think they're going to last a long time. The stop and the go, the exalting or the stopping from the exalting of one, sharing's one, the one word of one. We will learn the smartness and understanding another, but we also have to know we balance. We fill in the missing earth to make the road smooth by the choices we make. The choices we take. Where else am I going to go with this? Let's just talk about a few words, okay? I'm going to be talking about number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? And, oh, before we go there, the beaver and whatever Lincoln stands for, sitting in that big chair, take a look at that big chair, okay? There's something about that big chair, okay? The chair goes up, and then it goes this way, and then it goes up. It's about 12 feet, let's say, the chair, just for an example, 12 feet, right? If you would straighten it out, it would be 12 feet. But because of the way it's made, it's only 8 feet high. Plus his ass sits down, his feet go forward, and then you go down. I mean, when you sit down, you're on 2 different levels. Your ass is over here, your knees are over here. But your head is over here. Look where your knee, look, you can't get to your knees. Your knees come to here. But your nose is over here. Look at that. When I go down all the way, I hit my legs. I need to go down here in order to hit my knees. So when I sit down and I tuck my legs back under my seat, now my heels are straight through my backbone and right up towards my nose and forehead, in which creates number 7, the alpha omega. The standing up and the sitting down. Now we're going to go over number 1. Number 1 in French is un. Spanish sometimes say una. But the moon for Monday, the first day of the week, is called lune. And the French word for the day of the week, Monday, is lundi. The DI letter is number 49. Mars, Pluto, come on down. Mars, Pluto, come on down. Oh, wait a second. It also stands for Neptune, the space we live, and Mars again. And then the numerological count inside of Pluto is 84, which stands for the space I stand, connecting together the two H's. The minute you connect the two H's together, you make a hat, because there's the H up and the H down. There's two sides of H. See the H? You see what H would be, right? Or just let's do that to it. So it's up and down. You understand? There's a hat that goes on it like this. There's two arms. There's a hat that goes over it like this. This one is up like this, and this one is up like this. And there you go, number 11, V11, V11, 5, 6, 7, minus 1, plus 1. Remember, we're creating the flat 4. We need more than one side. We need to create the bench, the table. Have you ever seen the Da Vinci Code? Inside the Da Vinci, the Last Supper, you'll see the way the design under the table is. And you have to go into it understanding that it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You really don't want to know what anybody else says. All you want to do is open up pages of words which are together of what somebody said, of course, and just pick something out and say, oh, look at that. And like I can't even understand what anybody else says, because what if they meant it the other way, that you see something one way, I see something the other way. My video has paused. I'm going to have to stop this here. Or let's see, was it under here? Oh, okay, it paused because a pop-up popped up on the center. But my face is paused right now. So I think we're going to have to, hold on, let me do this again. No, it's not working. Am I working on the camera? Is my camera working? So anyways, okay, I'm going to try to finish this. So we were building the hat, and we built the house, and this is part of your 1111, okay? There's so many things to do. We all see things so many different ways, but there's so many ways. The reason for H, the reason for I, the whole alphabet. 1 dice cube, 2 dice cube. Do you know 3 dice cubes, okay? This number over here, 4, or the 5, it doesn't matter really which one, okay? The 5 just says the 360 degrees of its own self. Okay, the first part of a clock right over here. I mean, these dice cubes, okay, are these circles? How many circles? You put 9 circles, 360 degrees. That's what this is. This is 9. This is from here, this circle to this circle, this circle, and this circle. This is 1440. Everything else is in between. Do you understand? Everything else is in between. If you hold 2 dice like this, okay, one like this and one like this. Now you put them together like this. Now, I don't even know if you're able to see that. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for this one.